On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. And oh my, mistake there. Backs up, takes a fair catch at the 3-yard line. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
There you go. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. Back near his goal line, it's Prescott. His throw incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Inside give to Elliott. Well, that gives him a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D linemen to make the play.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And that one didn't accomplish a whole lot. It'll be down inside the 35-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And he stopped immediately there. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. No big surprise, Micah Parsons doing what he does so well, dropping him for a loss. Throwing on 2nd and long. Hurts. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take over here up near the 40. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing, maybe a movement maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements. So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier to shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Don't blink or you'll miss Wong Wu, one of the fastest backs in the entire NFL. He put that on display not as a runner his rookie season, but as one of the league's best kick returners. A lot of people felt he should have made the Pro Bowl as a rookie.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Neville Gallimore showing off a bit on that nice stop.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 2nd and 12, Hurts. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Nwangu going to get it on the counter. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Josh Sweat coming in strong and dropping him behind the line of scrimmage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
That's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working. But how about it?
Touchdown! Michael Gallup, 38 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. And that's complete to Sanders. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen. But my defensive training, they want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off, actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Throwing on second and long. Prescott, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. The 40. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
What part do they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Brown. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
He'll fire this deep for Gallup. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Prescott. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Second down, back to Sanders. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Here's Hurts to throw. And my goodness, another interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick 6.
I think that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate that those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Second down, back to Sanders. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 49 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On the counter now, it's Sanders. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. And Prescott, his 3rd interception. And the Eagles are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Back to Nwangu again on 1st down. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he's going to take this close to the 1st down markers. He stopped at the Eagles' 36. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 67 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Another run now for Nwangu. And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the 2nd half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Gallup now on the end around. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A 3-yard loss, 4th down now. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. This to make it a 3-score game late. Marr able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 at the 24. At their own 24-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 27, Hurts. Throw left side complete. That's Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jabril Cox. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick six from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
Okay, break.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts over the middle to Smith. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Throwing is Hurts. This will be caught by Brown. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. And now here is another interception. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
From the 45 on second down, Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing, Prescott. And his throw here is incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first down. And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the fourth quarter.
It certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
We have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it.
At the 22-yard line.
Looking to throw again on second down. Hurts. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. At that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 more for him on that one. He's been a busy man. It's a first down. A 3-score game here late. You could probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again on second down. Hurts. He's got Smith here. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. And I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead. But I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And this one is incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Prescott. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
On to punt now, Anger as he boots this one away. This is taken at about the 14. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
Okay, ready?
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Drops this one down to Gainwell. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right? And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field. Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game. So for the Cowboys, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8.
Hey, DJ Mosky, let's get it. We the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I met the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none of